In Asia? Okay.
And it's in China.
Mm-hmm.
And we went down there and we picked up troops that had been there during the war.
Okay.
And we brought them back to San Francisco. We did that a few times.
Okay. So besides you being like drafted into the Navy and being in the service, what type of work did you do when you were like during your normal life at home?
Oh, you mean as a kid?
Around 17 to like 21, the age. Around that age.
Well, I went to college and everything.
You went to college?
Yes.
Okay.
I went to Morgan.
Morgan?
Graduated from Morgan in 51, yeah.
What did you take at Morgan?
Sociology.
Sociology. Okay. How old was your father when you were 21?
Oh goodness, he was born in 1893.
93.
So you figure it was 45, 1945 when I was
About he was old enough, put it that way.
yeah, right.
Okay. So he's married, and he's brothers or sisters?
You talking about my father?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. He married my mother. They married. My mother was 19, and I guess he was about 20. What would he be? She was 19. I guess he was about 26 or 27 years old when he got married.
Okay.
He also had been in the First World War, and he was a sergeant. And he joined the company. He worked in the cavalry, and he belonged to Company C, 325.
Okay.
But that's the First World War.
That's the first one.
That's way back.
Okay. Did you have any brothers, sisters?
Oh yeah. I got there was 5 of us altogether. One sister died at age 12. And then the next sister, she was born in 19. The older sister was born in 1920, the next sister was 20. She was born in 22. I had a brother. He was born in around 30 something, 33 or something like that. And the sisters, one sister, the older sister, she went to Morgan too.
Oh.
And when she came out, she went in the service and she became a first lieutenant. And she was head of the postal division in Rouen, France. And then after that, when she came home, she got out. She worked for the Department of Welfare, and she became the district director of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And she also, in the meantime, had gone to Bryn Mawr. She got a scholarship at Bryn Mawr and got a master's out of Bryn Mawr. And I had another sister. She went in the service, the same as the other sister, and she became a sergeant. And she worked at the Department of Welfare as a supervisor down there. And our brother, he did better than everybody. He was in the service, and he became a lieutenant colonel.
Oh.
And he was, after he left the service, he stayed in service 20 years, and when he left there, he had a job in charge of a hospital in Colorado, Denver. And he left there and became the city manager for the city of Connecticut, for Hartford, Connecticut. And then he left there and he became city manager for St. Petersburg, Florida. Then he left there and became city manager, worked for California, where he's still living. Yeah. I mean, both of my sisters are dead.
I'm hearing a lot about the service and lieutenants and colonels, but your father was an actor. Was there any part of the arts in you, your brother, sister?
Oh yeah, my sister that was a sergeant, she acted down here too. And then, well, outside that, not really. I mean, I was in a couple small plays when I was like 12, 13 years old. I played children like Abraham's Bosom, and a few black plays, you know. But outside of that, no. nobody. My brother, my brother, when he was he must have been in about 6th or 7th grade. He wrote a play.
He wrote a play?
Yeah, and they actually used it at the Friends. It was a private Friends school in media, and they had and they actually used it. They actually produced it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know that like me and my father, we're alike in some ways. I'm stubborn, he's stubborn, but I have a little bit of my mom in me.
Right.
Would you say you and your father are alike in many ways or a few ways?
Yeah, we're pretty much alike. I mean, we're pretty much the same, I guess. He likes sports. I like sports. He played basketball, semi-pro basketball. He was living in Philadelphia at that time, but he was born and raised right here. If you want to know about it, he was born and raised right here in Cheyney.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, right up there, you know where your library is. Right across the road there, you see where those houses are sitting. That little house in the back there.
Okay.
Well, his family, that's where he was born.
Oh, okay. Did he attend Cheyney University?
Hmm?
Did he attend? No, he didn't.
No, he went to school up here. You ever go up Cheyney Road? There's a little brick building off on the left. When you get to the very top, it's a house now. It's a little brick building there. And that's where he went to school.
Oh, okay.
Now his family mostly they lived at that time. They lived up on Loxley Road. Mm-hmm. You know where Loxley Road is?
No, I don't.
Well,
I'm
you know where the church is.
Okay.
The Mary Church.
Mm-hmm.
The road that comes out there, you know, it's like a T there. That's Loxley Road.
Okay.
And at the very top of that, there's an old farmhouse which my cousin lives in. Who was well, he's my second cousin, but his father and my father were first cousins, and they lived there, and they still own the property.
All right. Well, since we are your father, for our viewers, can you let us know your father's complete name?
I'm William Arthur Rich.
William Arthur Rich.
Mm-hmm.
And can you let us know some of his achievements, like big achievements in the acting field?
Well, he did this Emperor Jones. I think. See, at that time, Hedgegrow Theater is like a legitimate theater. It trains a lot of people and a lot of.
What's the name of the theater one more time?
Hedgegrow.
Hedgegrow?
Hedgegrow, yeah.
Hedgegrow Theater.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's in Rose Valley.
Rose Valley.
Mm-hmm. And they're right now they're even looking for people who want to be students who would like to go there, and what you do, you live there.
Okay.
And I think it's free, really. And they're always looking for somebody they produce a lot of plays now. You never heard of it?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the Hedgegrow Theater in Rose Valley,
Right.
looking for students.
Yeah.
That's really good. Well, your father achieved.
Oh, he was. He a couple times, a few times he was offered. See, he was a chauffeur.
A chauffeur.
Yeah, and the man he worked for is Mars Bauer Saul, and he lived right across from the Hedgegrow Theater, and that's where he got involved there. And there he played a lot of tennis. It was a great tennis player. Probably one of the best around. I mean, nobody. As a matter of fact, when the NC, the Negro League, college league, you know, national with the NCAA, when they were in existence, they used to have tournaments in the NWCP, and the best player that came from there would come to media and stay with us, and my father would take him down and give him some more pointers and whatnot like that.
Oh, okay. Tennis player. So was he good at serving, forehand?
He was good at everything.
Okay.
Now he has the oldest daughter. The same going back to her. But she was first in the class in almost every place she went. she played tennis, and when she was in the WACs and when she got to England, she was in a tournament and she won it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how good they were.
That's
Now when
nice.
it came to me and my brother, I mean, he was older, and he had retired for us, so we were left out there.
No running around chasing the yellow ball.
No. And see, and he had access to the court there when the people that he worked for would go away all summer. And all he didn't have anything else. Since he was a chauffeur, he didn't have anything else to do but fool around the court and whatnot like that. So he would take anybody that would like to go down there and play a little tennis. He would be glad to accommodate them.
Mr. Rich, are you satisfied with life thus far?
Oh,
And
yeah.
all that you've been through?
Sure.
You're married, you have a beautiful home. Do you have children?
Oh yeah. Got two. I had twins.
Okay.
Boy and a girl. They went to Cali school, Cali High School. They went to St. Simon and Jude up here, and then he went to Bishop Shanahan. And then the girl, she decided she wanted to go to college, and she did. She went to Spelman, graduated from there. Now she works she's like a PR person for the federal government in the post office, and she travels all over.
So you're satisfied with life? What are your future plans? Do you want to travel?
Oh, no.
No more traveling?
No, my wife travels.
Okay.
She does travel. I mean, she's been all around, all over the United States. She's been to New York. She's been to, when my brother was stationed over in Germany, she went there. When he was stationed in Visa in Ethiopia, she went over there. And then, they travel up through Switzerland and everything. And like to spend time in England and all that sort of thing. And she still travels. She has a girlfriend that likes to travel, and they go places.
Okay. You said your father was an actor. So what major role or roles has he played that was famous?
Well, Emperor Jones was the main role. The same one that Paul Robeson.
Paul Robeson.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, when they had the Emperor Jones in New York, they wanted my father to do it, but because of he didn't have any name, and they were interested in making money, they took Paul Robeson instead.
So this play.
You saw the picture of it.
Yes, I saw the picture. This play. Where was it performed? Was it performed in local theaters?
Down in Hedgegrow.
Okay. So
mostly, yeah. And during that time, you see the times are hard and whatnot like that. Depression was in, and they had to exist. So that's the reason why they kept playing that play, because that's the one that used to bring in a full house all the time. Now he couldn't leave. He had offers to go other places and really get into the theater, as such, but he couldn't do it because they had a family.
okay. So your father was a family man.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right. So, Mr. Rich, your dad is a tennis player,
Oh yeah.
an actor,
Yeah, he
a
was
family
He was
man.
an artist. He could draw and whatnot like that. Yeah, he could do it all.
Okay,
He's a very intelligent person.
and a veteran. So he was in
veteran.
World War One.
The whole family's in service.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cavalry, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned the cavalry.
Yeah, right.
Okay. What 2 words would you use to define your father from the things that he has done?
No man, he was a great guy. No 2 words about it. I mean, yeah, he was a great guy. He liked his family. Very intelligent man. Read a lot. Even though he didn't have much education. And that's about better. I can say it all. And he was a religious man in his way. Now his father was a minister,
Okay.
and he grew up right in Philadelphia. And I don't know exactly where, but he grew up in Philadelphia. But he was a religious man. He liked to get down on his knees and pray at night. Now a lot of people that hear this probably will say that he didn't, but he liked to drink his liquor whenever he had it, and he liked to enjoy himself just like everybody else, In those days, don't forget, there wasn't too many things that black people could do. I mean, now he could play his tennis because he just happened to just practically owned a tennis court.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I mean, he couldn't go out there to public courses or anything like that and play. Now he used to come to Westchester and play people and whatnot like that. There's a few people who went through Lincoln and places like that, and they invite him up here.
You described, you used the words great guy to define your father. If I was to ask your son the same question about you, what words would you think he would use?
He'd probably tell you I was a pusher. He'd probably tell you I'm a great guy too.
Great guy?
Yeah, he might come here any minute.
Hard worker.
Hard worker, religious person.
Religious.
Yeah. I stick with the Catholic Church. Born and raised in the Catholic Church. My mother was, her mother was, and we were never converts as such, because my great grandfather, he was a Catholic, and he was Caucasian, and so we just, we were all born into the Catholic Church, so to speak. A lot of them left the Catholic Church. A lot of them went with my grandmother's husband, and he belonged to AME Church, or I don't know if it's AME or not. It's right there in Media, I guess, and Trinity AME. So a lot of them switched over. I think they had their reasons. In the Catholic Church, sometimes you weren't treated all that great, in school and whatnot like that. But I've always had the, I'm not going to let somebody run me out of church. And so whatever somebody says or does, I'm above that, when it comes to religion.
That's not what you're there for.
Right.
Well, Mr. Rich, thank you so much.
Please, I told you you're going to run out of time. You're going to run out of gas in 20 minutes. I got it right down, almost down to a second. And I thought we were going to do about an hour.
Oh, okay.
There's an awful lot of things that you should be discussing.
Oh, well, you want to talk about media? We can talk about media.
Okay.
Now, media is an interesting place, and a lot of people, you'd be surprised. I mean, when the Depression was on, and that was back, now I'm talking about when my grandparents were living. I mean, when they were young. Now, these people in media, they seem to all have their own businesses. My grandfather, he was a landscaper, and he had men working during the Depression when other people didn't have any work. And most of the people up and down the street there, some of them were stonemasons. They built a lot of walls and stuff around media. They built houses around media. One's name was NoCo, and my grandfather Jamison, he built, and they also were farmers. They had horses and buggies, and I guess my grandfather had probably the first truck that ever was around media and whatnot like that, and so they were people had pretty much. I mean, as a matter of fact, that group of people lived down on Owl Street. They did better than most white people did in media.
The color people?
The black people did better than the white people.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and around that neighborhood, there wasn't anybody really starving or anything that I know of, right up and down the street where I lived. I mean, if they wanted to work there, they worked there. Now, in the 30s, in the 30s when President Roosevelt was around, you had, he came up with a lot of different means for people to make a living, like CCC camp. A lot of the boys there, they went off to CCC camp.
What is CCC camp?
I don't know exactly what the three letters are.
Civilian Conservation Corps.
Is that what it was?
That was right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they had what was the other one that they had? WPA.
Okay, WPA. You say we poke along.
Yeah. And then you know what happened, and also when Roosevelt was around, we had that's when Social Security and all that sort of thing came. Because most of the people, like, it's very important for people of my age and maybe the generation just before me, because most of those jobs, most of those jobs were jobs where people didn't have any retirement plans. So if they didn't have Social Security, most of these people wouldn't even be able, I mean, they're barely existing with Social Security now, and they wouldn't even have had that. Mm-hmm. Which a lot of people want to, they sort of don't want to get Roosevelt credit for. Mm-hmm. And so we all went in the service. That's another thing about the neighborhood. My generation was a generation where almost everybody who lived in media went to college. Because they had the GI Bill.
Mm-hmm. Did you feel like, say for all of your family have been in the service, did you feel that it was like you were, I know you were drafted, but
I was drafted, my sisters weren't.
Your sisters weren't.
But their reason why they went in the service more than anything else, I mean, they didn't know where they want to go. I mean, in other words, about as far as a job is concerned, they didn't have any real goal there, and so they said, well, just like kids do nowadays. A lot of kids will graduate from high school and take 2 or 3 years before they decide to go to college. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what she did. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what they did, and my brother too. But I don't think he wasn't drafted. He joined.
What is your opinion on drafting? Because
but nowadays,
I wouldn't be in agreement with that.
No. I mean, with the type of war we had now, if you want to get into what's going on now, no. During the Second World War, it wasn't. I mean, I can understand it because they had a reason, you know, to fight. Mm-hmm. So we didn't volunteer. I tell you, it was a tendency for us in the neighborhood not to volunteer to go into service. Mm-hmm. So they did have to take us into service. You know, and everybody, most of the people who went into the service did well in the service. Mm-hmm. You know.
But like, I mean, would they knock on your door and say you have to go?
No, I don't.
Like, how'd you feel? How'd you feel? Like, you have to go to war. You have no choice. You're home watching TV and you just found out you have to go to war.
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel? How do you feel as a black man?
Well, as a black man, I'll tell you what. Now, after the Second World War, when we come home, we didn't get treated any better than we did before we went. Mm-hmm. I mean, as a matter of fact, I mean, you still had the same type of segregation in the movies. You know, in the movies in those days. You had to sit on one side and all that sort of thing. And there was restaurants up media.
And you fight for the country, and then when you come back.
Did you feel like bait? Like my African American teacher, Dr. Holmes, he uses the word bait. Like black males were used as bait. Right. We couldn't do anything. We had no rights. But as soon as it was time for war, they drafted all our men and sent them to fight.
Not only that.
Did you feel like bait?
Like you're the worm on the end of the fish hook, waiting for the fish to come catch.
I mean, at that age, I hardly thought about it at all. I mean, because all my buddies went and whatnot like that, and I felt as though that I should go too, and so I didn't feel bad about it at all. I mean, I felt bad about the segregated. See, the Army was, the Navy was segregated at that time, mm-hmm. and like I went to the Navy, and I was segregated because they put me in as a steward mate, you know, to serve officers and stuff like that. But they finally got over that, and they had V-12 programs and things like that, where the smarter guys became officers, and they finally broke all this down. But before that, the Army and the Navy and everything, it's unbelievable that they were segregated at a time when you have
and
a war.
You need to be together. There's no need for separation.
Yeah, right. It was just crazy. And then when you got out, you got no better treatment than you did before. Mm-hmm. You know, down south they're still getting in the back of the bus. Mm-hmm. You know, when I was in Morgan, I went to football. I was on football. We went down to A&T. And a guy, a buddy of mine who lived in Springfield, we were roommates in college. And we went down there, and we were going to go across town. We got on the bus. And we got all the way in the bus and everything. The man said, you can't sit down here. You have to go to the back of the bus. He said, can't you read? Look at that sign back here. So we turned around and looked at the sign, and we got off the bus and walked across that. That was then. That was back in the 40s.
So how do you feel about segregation then opposed to now? Like now we feel like we're segregated, but it's covered up.
Oh yeah, you need affirmative action if that's what you mean. I mean, because if you don't, you're not gonna. I mean, you're still gonna have problems.
Okay. Do you feel like in your time that you had to sit in the back of the bus, you were separated in your schools and all that? Now, but it's different. You know, we don't have to sit at the back of the bus. We can go to school together. Do you feel good that there was a change?
Well, media wasn't too much. Media. I mean, when it comes to schooling and whatnot like that, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of prejudice there. I knew that. But the thing about it is, if you stuck with your books and whatnot like that, and you come out, because I mean, you know, just like I said, like my generation, they all went to college within that little neighborhood. You know, it was only about 3 blocks long and about a block wide. And almost everybody went there, and some of them became doctors, some of them had their doctor's degrees in other fields, education, and a lot of them worked for the federal government. I thought that media was a pretty good place for that.
But I interject, we had some good visionaries in the neighborhood, like Mrs. Moffett, do you remember?
Yeah, right, Ms. Moffett.
Yeah, she organized a lot of things.
Yeah, she was good at that.
Yeah, right.
And my father, he was a big time Democrat. Nobody liked him. And they just couldn't see that they couldn't see any reason why they should be witchcraft. As a matter of fact, when I got out of the service, I became a committee man in what was called Northern Precinct in Media, and I went to a guy, and you couldn't believe this. And this is in 1940. So no, this is in 1951. I went to a guy and told him that, yeah, I think it's time for him to change his what's it called, and he told me he wouldn't, and I asked him why. And he said, because Abraham Lincoln freed us.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is in 1951.
Yeah.
When people finally decided that, when the blacks decided that they're going to get out of the Republican Party.
Okay. How do you feel about the president today, our president?
Well, I have reservations, and his tactics and everything, I don't know. Because I mean, everything to me seems like going, especially this. If you're talking about these confrontations and stuff like that, and why did this guy bend down and knock down those buildings and whatnot? If he did, I'm feeling that maybe Bush was going around the world one-on-one with people, and what he was telling them or saying to them, I don't know. And I have reservations about just what kind of judgment he had as far as that's concerned. I think that may have caused a lot of this. But I mean, I can't say.
Did you vote or you didn't?
You better believe it. I've been voting ever since I was 18.
And I trust you voted for Gore.
Yeah, I voted for him. I wasn't in love with him. You know, I mean, I'm not a Gore lover. I'm not in love with either party right now. Are you?
I'm not.
No.
You voted.
And I didn't
you
vote.
voted. You did?
And I didn't vote
Oh, you
either.
should vote. You got to vote.
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
you-
another
you-
topic.
yeah.
Honestly, I had an absentee ballot, so I
Yeah.
did
Well,
vote.
see, you would have voted in South Media when I was a kid because they'd give you a pint of wine.
Yeah, they did all that. Or $1.
Yeah, yeah.
And they had a party afterwards. As a matter of fact, when I was precinct leader, you know, we were all black, you know, in the Northern Precinct. And the Republicans used to have a lot of money, and they would give these parties, beer parties, you know, and all that sort of thing. I went to the party, and the guy kicked me out.
Speaking of parties.
Kling Miller.
Oh, Clink, yeah, I remember Clink, yeah.
Clink said, what are you doing? And that was the first time that our precinct went Democratic. Because, I was knocking on doors, you know.
I stopped around to see Helen about 4 weeks ago over at Fair Acres.
Yeah, right.
And she told me I was her husband.
Is that right?
Yeah, she said that.
Her husband died, didn't he?
Huh? No, she's still alive. Oh, her husband?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
he did. Yeah.
He could have.
He was a nice guy.
Yeah, is that right? Yeah. Well, she didn't think so, but she said you left me.
Yeah,
You
right.
left me, and you gotta come back
Well,
to
did
me
you?
home. Yeah.
Did you?
No.
I
I
You know
don't
where
know,
that-
Doc. We
Well,
got that on tape.
Helen was
Is
this
that
on
on
tape.
tape?
But I'll tell you, we all looked like when she was young, a lot
she was
like
nice and
Dorothy Dandridge.
Yeah, she's a beautiful
Yeah,
girl.
she was, yeah.
Yeah.
And then she had another cousin I was crazy about though. That was Lila, right?
Oh, yeah.
They were cousins,
Yeah,
right?
very attractive person.
Yeah.
Doc and the ladies.
I know. I mean,
you like the women.
we all liked each other. We were all like brothers and sisters, though.
Yeah,
see?
right.
Yeah, that's right. But you know, the thing, they're probably not aware of how much leverage we acquired after we went into service, because several things happened. Because you remember A. Philip Randolph threatened a march on D.C.
Yeah, right.
just before the war started, and they did. How I say, give lip service to integration before they established the Tuskegee Airmen, right?
Oh, yeah.
Tuskegee Airmen, and then and they made concessions, you know, in the defense areas. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Then they open up the you're like you're talking about like Sunship.
Right.
When they had an all black group that were making ships, the Sunship.
That black sunship.
And when I like that, so they brought in that, so these people got skills that they wouldn't have gotten. They'd start training to be welders and burners and whatever you need to build a ship.
And females work there too, right?
Yeah,
Quite a few ladies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a myriad of things we could talk about. I don't know whether you guys are totally in concord with it, but there were a lot of beautiful things going on in the media, even though I didn't like them at that time. Because I'd be ready to tell you, go pounce in and get out of my face. But Mrs. Mason, you remember her?
Mrs.
Ethel
Mason, she was a nice person.
And then we have who else do we have in media? The judges.
Mr. Mode.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, well, back there, if you want to talk about, I'm talking about the Dorma grandparents' time. We had lawyers, and then you had some.
Sound like media was like high class. Is this
Yeah,
high class black?
It was sort of high class.
It wasn't
black.
inner city.
No.
Yeah,
But I mean, you had places like that.
On the block
You had places like that in like Germantown and stuff.
in my area.
Yeah, we met girls and they would come from my area in Germantown and places like that. I mean, that was uppity neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know two ways
So
about
do you
yeah,
have-
they got
did
to
you
see
have
where
any-
you shake your head at.
Because I'm relating this to, like everybody
Yeah, I bet
on the
some
block went to
girls-
college. Did you have any prejudice to like inner city blacks being as though you were black but in a different neighborhood?
I never had that, but you had your conflicts. I mean, they had certain attitudes and whatnot like that you couldn't tolerate, things like that. I mean, we had a problem. One family there, their name was Ortega.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. They were light-skinned girls, So they messed around with us, And they had these light-skinned boys coming in from Philadelphia, right? And then
you know about this.
Oh yeah, I know that,
we ran them out of media.
yeah.
They would come, and then finally they decided they're gonna come in here but in carloads. And then what we did is we medias broke up a lot of little towns. You got East Media, South the
Hilltop.
and all that. Well, we got together with them that night, and then we got down on the corner. And they hid the bushes and everything. And when these guys, light-skinned guys, come down, they said they would come back and do what, to us,
What? Beat y'all up?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They trying to
He
roll
had
on
a
media.
war in his own.
Yeah. When they jumped out the car, all these people came out from the bushes.
No. This is so amazing. Like we laugh about this now, but it's really serious
The same sort of thing
it's
that goes
like-
on now.
Yeah, but not maybe sort of. I don't know. It's not really a.
It's vicious. Not as vicious as
Yeah,
it
it's
is
not
now.
as vicious, light skin, dark skin. But did it really have a point? Being as though we're all one.
Yeah, well.
Like we were all slaves. We all would have been under the white man.
But the same thing like with like you said, the
In the
people from the rural
Navy.
area and people from the urban era, you know, like when you were slaves, there was field slaves,
Oh,
and there
yeah,
was house
yeah,
slaves.
right. They had the same problem.
They had the same problems.
Sure.
Yeah, Helena worked at
So-
Cheyney.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, she loved Cheyney.
Yeah.
They call you house of Diddy or uppity.
Yeah, 400s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 400. We were never invited to parties in media though.
Where you were?
No, we just crashed them.
You be up our way.
Yeah, well, anyway, if they said there was a party, we would just crash it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't invited to parties.
Yeah.
But they really didn't expect us to be invited. We just barged right on in.
Mhm.
How about the judge
They
girls
going
down at Iona and Naomi? Yeah.
Well, they always came on media.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, we invited them. All the pretty girls. We had come into our town.
Oh, I see. It was
The ones that lived down the hilltop, the Williams
Right, yeah.
girls.
Oh, yeah.
And all
Yeah.
the
The
rest of
Williams
them.
girls.
The Williams girls?
Mary Williams, there was a
You
Mary
know them
Williams.
too, don't you?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So y'all was associated a lot with the
like
ladies.
Like
Well, I
what you
mean,
talking about.
they were there.
all
They
came
were
apart.
there. You know, they
Yeah.
were nice girls. Yeah.
Nice girls.
Mary and shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Player.
Did
Huh?
you find
No.
your wife in media?
No, my wife came from Mississippi. I told you, media
Okay.
boys didn't marry media girls.
Where?
Then
Did
my
you
wife
meet?
come from Delaware.
From Delaware.
I met
Where'd
her
you meet?
at college.
At college. So she went to Morgan also.
Yeah, she graduated.
Oh,
Morgan.
okay.
Mhm.
You met your freshman year?
No, I was a freshman. No, I was a upperclassman when she came.
Really?
So you was getting on the freshmen.
No, what?
Yeah. You had your eye on the freshman.
Like, she came along and she was a fine looking young lady and very intelligent.
And
like
smart
she
too,
is,
yeah,
you know.
And what
And
did
she
you
worked,
say to
and
her?
she worked down the Department of Welfare too. She was a supervisor. And, well, you know, I guess we both liked each other, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what did you say to her? You said, "Can I get your phone number?
Yeah, what was
Can I
the
take you
slang?
out?"
Well, the thing, we were right there on campus.
Okay.
Didn't even telephone number. Everybody we don't have one phone, but in the boys'
That's what you say.
in the boys' dormitory. We only had one boys' dormitory at Cheyney. Now you got all kinds of funny dormitories around there where you girls are living with the boys and all that.
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing?
No, we don't have co-ed dorms anymore as of this year.
As of
Oh.
this year.
They used to have them last year, and that one down
Yeah.
there. I used to go down and walk
True.
around the track every day.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had gotten sick and I needed to exercise.
Yeah,
Like that.
that's probably when I
After had
lived
an
in-
operation, and so I used to go there. I did that for about a year or so.
So how long did you and your wife date before you proposed?
Oh, goodness.
Or did you propose? Or did she propose?
No. It's like a musical
The
thing.
man proposed no
Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
a
yeah.
musical thing. And
How long did you date?
Oh, I guess a year or so.
A year.
Mm.
A year.
And what made you buy that ring?
That was a thing to do, I guess.
Just a thing to do. That's why you did.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have any
I
money.
would like to
I
answer
did-
wrut with your wife.
I didn't have any money, you know, I'm gonna tell you. So I really didn't really go out and buy an expensive ring.
Okay.
We were riding on a train coming from Morgan, I think. And, we decided to get married.
What was the conversation?
She brought it up. Yeah, so,
You listening?
yeah, I know. So yeah,
why it's limited.
we decided to do it, and then we made a date and whatnot like that, and we went off and got married. And,
Ran off, not eloped.
well, I guess it was something like that.
Yep.
Where did you get married?
We got married down in Elkton, Maryland.
Oh yeah,
Now?
yeah. That's a famous place for
yeah.
that.
So in those days, you get married within a week or so.
Wow.
Okay.
And we
And
were
you've been married how long?
50,
Wow.
51
That is so
years,
great.
52 years, yeah, something like that.
How's it been?
It's been great. Yeah,
Wonderful.
We have a good time.
Really?
Yeah.
So what are you doing here, like, with the kids gone?
Then
And it's just
my
you
son
and
just
her?
came back. He's been here for about 3 months.
He lives here.
Oh, he's trying to live back at
He
home.
trying to come
he
back.
got kicked out. And he's due any minute.
Well, before he came back, what do you guys do? What's the day like? What's the day like? Children are gone. No more people wake up for school.
Yeah.
No more.
Right.
Resting.
Right. No, we I don't know, but time just goes. I know that. You know,
Mm.
you'd be surprised. I mean, you get up in the morning.
Did y'all walk together
I
at the
usually
track?
go to yeah, sure. She got to walk me, and then I started going to church in the morning because I felt as though little bit of time won't hurt. You know, it's St. Simon and Jude up here,
Okay.
Catholic Church. I go there at 9 o'clock mass some morning, most mornings, and then we go to mass on Sundays. And we go out to eat a lot.
Yeah, so you date still?
Yeah, pretty much.
Great.
But I mean, we're together. I mean, she wasn't good at walking. She asked me if she wants me to go. If she don't want me to go, she'll go on by.
Do you go to the movies together?
No, I don't go to the movies, so she goes with. She got a girlfriend that went to Morgan. That
Got a girlfriend.
That is a media. And
Is this the traveling girlfriend?
Mm-hmm.
That's her best friend?
Yeah, how'd you do that?
Because you said it.
Yeah.
I remember.
They go everywhere. I mean, they've been to Hawaii, they've been to, you name it, California.
How do you feel when she leaves? Are you sad?
Oh, that's great.
Oh.
I remember one year she went. I guess that's the time. Well, she went. My brother was. He was third in command over in Puerto Rico, I guess. And he had a big house of servants and everything over there. That's where the service treats you,
Mm-hmm.
And she went down there and stayed for a little while. And went like that, and she enjoyed it. But I never went over there. I've never flown.
Mm-hmm. You never flown?
What? And yeah, in the service, right?
No, I trained when I was in there.
God.
Right,
We had troop trains and all that sort of thing.
Troop ships.
And ships. You in the
I was on
Navy.
Yeah,
I know
that's plenty of water.
Plenty of water.
Yeah, you ever been out in the water?
Yes, I recently came from a cruise in the summer.
Where'd you go?
It was to nowhere.
And how was the water?
It was rough a little at night, but it was cool during the day. But the boat would rock back and forth.
Yeah, but that's mild. But that water is something else out there.
How did you feel being
Let
on?
me tell you.
Out there in California, right?
Well, first thing
On a
the
boat,
first time
like 6 months. I know you're out there
You know
about
what was
6 months.
strange? What was strange was, when I went in the service and everything, and then became, a sailor and whatnot like that.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought about a boat at all. Mm-hmm. And so when I came home for after my boot camp, I stayed home for 10 days, and then went back. Different people went different places, and the war was still going on in Europe. And so they sent us, my whole company. Some companies broke up, and some of them went to Florida and all over the place. But my company, they sent the whole company out to California, where them Japs are. And well, then then different ones, maybe 5 or 6 they would call and put them on a ship or something like that. I was the last guy in my company to leave the Camp Shoemaker in California, and I got on this little boat. Mm-hmm. The one I was telling you about. It's like the same thing as the Coast Guards.
Yeah. Okay.
And the first time I went out, I didn't realize how much water there is out there. Is that the way you felt?
Yeah, it was like we was like in the middle of the ocean.
Yes,
all bodies of water just surrounding.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's a lot.
And we went out past the Golden Gate. I've been down there about an hour.
That's rough. That's rough.
And they were called ground swells. But and we just had eaten some pork chops.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about somebody getting sick.
I got a little sick.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little sick.
I never got sick.
Yeah, we went up to Seattle with this little ship. We only had 120-some men on it, and about 5 officers, and so it rode with everything that.
Oh, I got a question. You were born in 1926, and Josephine Baker. She was a big thing in the 1930s, and I played Josephine Baker last semester. Yes, and I want to know: have you seen her?
No. She was hidden.
You heard about her during your day? What was the talk?
She was. They loved her, but whatnot like that. But I really didn't pay her any mind. Yeah.
Why?
I mean, she was so far. She was so far. Yeah, she was so far away. When she came to New York, I mean, I wasn't in a position to go to New York this year. It's just like Lena Horne and Dorothy Danridge. Dorothy Danridge, she grew up right here in Norristown.
I didn't know that. Norristown.
You ever been to Norristown?
I heard. I know it. It's right up there.
Yeah, it's about an hour away.
Her mother was Ruby James, right?
Yeah.
We heard a lot about
Yeah.
Norris
About
Town.
the Norris Town.
Not what kind of.
Bring tourists to my.
What did you hear about Norris Town?
Just a sad story.
Oh, okay.
You want to
There's
know?
a lot of drugs.
You want to
There's a lot
know?
of drugs up there, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I want to know.
My boyfriend cheated
Oh,
on
he-
me with some girl in Norristown.
really?
And when I think of that place, it just takes me back. So we're going to get off Norristown.
Don't worry about that.
Oh, you back together again?
I'm mad at
Are you back together? Are
Norristown.
you back
Yes.
together? Yeah, okay.
That's
See,
like
now that's what life is all about. See,
Yeah.
that's where you stay with a person. See, that's the way we've been. You know,
Mhm.
we've been that up. We're just like anybody else.
Mhm.
But you have to. You got your priorities. You have to have priorities. Each one of them
Mm-hmm.
of accomplishment or whatever you know, and whatnot like that. And if you do that, then you get along fine.
Mhm.
Well, Beth, you want to get in this conversation?
A lot
tried
on
to get
Mr.
her in.
Rich.
He was talking about you.
Are you letting them go on like this?
Yes, ma'am.
You got an hour. You got an hour's worth of camera.
We have 15 more minutes. You can
Yeah, come
come
on.
on.
I hear you all just laughing.
Well, we're talking about ever and anything.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about media. And,
Just
Yeah.
carry right on.
yeah.
And Chester, I mean, I got my heart broken through 3 times in Chester, so.
You know,
By
just
the
like-
Williams,
By the Williams girls.
No, not the Williams girls. The Bueller girls. Yeah.
The Beulah girl.
Bueller girls,
Got
right.
the-
How many? All of
He's
them?
got this dual thing. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it was,
Oh,
it
just
was,
one.
it was Catherine,
Yeah.
Anime, Thelma, Catherine, and
So you
Anime.
went through all of them.
Well, yeah,
No, no.
he has a very talented family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You ever talk about it? Does he ever talk about it?
Yes.
For the-
I never talked about my
You talk
family.
about your family? No,
No.
you talk about your
Your
wife's
wife.
family.
That's about all.
Oh, his family is very talented people.
Yeah, well,
White family.
in some crazy ways
Yeah,
too.
yeah, what's up? I mean, you know,
Yeah.
every family. I mean, like my uncles, they were. Like I was telling you about the older folks. Now, my mother's brothers now, they were a bunch of, you know, I mean, they were spoiled. I mean, they all had cars when, you know, in times when people didn't even have a car. You know what I mean? Like my father used to get a new car every year, every other year, every 2 years. But his boss bought it for him and whatnot like that. So we always lived pretty good. Like, you know, he was telling me how hard it was for a lot of people around media that he knows. But most of those people I didn't even know. You know,
Yeah.
the way media broke up.
Yeah, we had a good support system though. People would share food. We got a lot of leftover
Yeah,
food
sure.
for Swarthmore College.
Yeah. Well, the first time, it was one, I'll tell you, the experience I had when I was a kid. Boy was in my class at school. I think it was around 6th grade or something like that. And one day I was standing out on the curb and whatnot, and he came up the street, and he had a wagon. Well, I said, "Where you going, Myers?" And he said, "Well, I got to go uptown and whatnot like that." I said, "I'll walk up with you." He said, "No, you didn't want me to walk over," but I walked in anyway. So we went up there. We went to the media. There's an armory up there, and he would have ran back. And ran back. They were giving out food. Okay. I said, "Damn!" I said, "These people getting food free." You know? I couldn't understand it. And so that was part of Roosevelt's thing when he gave indigent people, indigent families, and so he came on down the road and went on home. I got home and I was sitting in the kitchen. I mean, sitting in the dining room eating. You know, in those days everybody ate in the dining room every meal. You know, you sat together, you sat down. Now, when my kids come, they sit over here and I sit there.
Yeah, that's how it is in my house.
Yeah, right.
Except for Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, yeah, we set up for that and birthdays. And we still sing the same songs. Well, our family still does the same thing that my family did.
Yes.
Well, anyway, and we're very close to that sort of thing. And it gets too expensive sometimes. But anyway, so we were at dinner that night. You know, we all sat down and we were eating and whatnot like that. And so I jump up and say, to my father, I said, "You know, I know someplace where you can, if you go up there, you can get some food free." Of course, he knew. Yeah. So my sisters were sitting at the table and they started laughing. He said, he wanted to know where I said up the arm. I said, "Me and Myra." They never told me what it was. And they both thought how dumb I was, I guess. You know. And,
Did you go up
after the
there?
experience, no, go ahead.
To get the free food.
Yeah, but not touch that food. See, I mean, they knew that the government was giving them food because they didn't have, sufficient funds. I think even during the Depression, sometimes some blacks may have better than they did if they didn't have the Depression at that particular time. I don't know.
Because it taught them to save properly.
Yeah, because I don't know what's
Consume
going
things.
on now. Yeah, I don't know what's going on now. Like in Philadelphia, for these poor people, they're just cutting people off, and they're getting rid of jobs and all that sort of thing. And these jobs are pretty good jobs these people have. I think it'd be pretty hard to change your way of living with a little bit of money that the government wants to give people nowadays for some of these people. Would you?
Yeah.
But you're in the right field anyway. You girls are. Teachers that look like this is going to be a big explosion for teachers to make big money.
Well, no, we're not in education.
Isn't that? Oh, you're not in education?
No, theater. I don't want to teach no kids.
Okay.
Like
but I hear that education.
Yeah, but you can teach that.
I know. I don't even want to do that. I
You
want
must
to
be pretty
perform.
good.
I think
Do you
so.
dance and sing and all that?
Everything.
Really?
I'm just waiting for the right people to find me. That's it. That's what I
How'd you
want
find
to do.
Cheyney?
A recruiter came to my school in 11th grade, and me and my best friend just said, when the recruiter came, we're like, we're going there. It's not too far away from home. We're going there. We just had a plan since 11th grade, so.
Okay. That's great. Yeah. Huh. That's right, you're a Pennsylvania person. Yeah. And you're
New York.
the New Yorker. Yeah, okay.
But I have a Pennsylvania in me. My parents live in the Poconos now.
Oh, do they? Oh, goodness. They got money.
Poconos, yeah.
No, that's not, the houses are cheaper in the Poconos than in New York.
They still working?
Well, actually, my mom, the World Trade Center,
Mm-hmm.
she worked there, but now,
She did?
yeah. She was out
I hope so.
that day.
Yeah, right.
She was sick.
She was going in there every day.
She would not miss a day.
How's she, what kind of transportation did she use? A train from where?
Bus. Commute.
A
2
bus?
hours, yeah.
2 hours.
And it drops you
2
off
hours
right
both days?
every day.
2 hours both ways? Or 2 hours?
2 hours both ways, unless like she stayed over at my grandmother's house.
Okay.
Like we still have a house in New York.
Mhm.
Well, it's not our house, but it's my grandmother's. She'll stay over there some days,
Mhm.
but it's 2 hours and she never misses a day.
How about that? Now what did she do?
I think they're doing something in Jersey. It's a port authority in Jersey, so she's gonna be trying to work there.
She works for the federal government?
Yes,
Okay.
so she's gonna be trying to work there.
Your father too?
My dad is a director of student activities at a high school in the Poconos,
Okay.
Pocono Mountain Senior High School,
Mhm.
as well as writer and producer.
Oh, really?
hmm
Oh, goodness.
My mom sings.
You're in there.
Yeah, my mom sings and she's in the arts also.
And what is your name?
Carrie
Carrie what?
Thomas.
Okay. I have to remember that name.
Yeah.
And I will have to remember yours.
Carolyn Meeks.
Carolyn Meeks.
Meeks.
That name sounds familiar.
You might. I know everybody always said that. My grandfather gets around. He knows everybody. He might.
Is he a minister?
No, he's a deacon.
Does he have a brother?
Let's see, who's a minister?
There
My
used to
uncle
be-
is a minister.
There used to be a Meeks that had.
My aunt is a minister.
Yeah, they used
My aunt
to
is evangelist.
be. Where is she? In Westville?
Coatesville.
Okay.
Coachville, huh?
Yeah, Coatesville and Downingtown in California.
Yes, the Meeks that had a church down there where my wife come from.
Really?
Yeah, not where she grew up in Nora, but there. But there's a place called Belltown. It's a little town outside of Lewis, Delaware. You been down there? You ever been down there?
Where?
Louis,
Louis.
Delaware.
Never been down to Rehoboth Beach or any other places?
No.
Oh, you
I'm not
girls-
too familiar with
You girls
Delaware.
are missing.
Yeah.
Delaware, I'm not too
That's a
familiar.
beautiful place down there.
Yeah.
I never even been to New
Nice,
York.
yeah?
Never even been to New York.
Really?
Yeah,
Never.
Mesquite is
amazing.
almost
But
as
I'll
big
get
as
there.
Jersey.
Well, see, I as a kid, I was lucky that my father was a chauffeur.
Mm-hmm.
Now, every year, the people he worked for, they went up into the Adirondacks. They had a 200-acre place up there. It's right off a long lake. You had to get on. You had to get on. They had a lot of speedboats and stuff like that. You had to. When you got there to unload the trucks that we used to carry, like the food and stuff up there. We'd have to load them on these little boats and ferry them up to the lake, and then we would stay up there maybe a week or so. And we did that twice a year.
He took his
So I
kid to
did
work.
that. Then I had to go to New York he used to go to New York, they owned an apartment house up there, and sometimes his boss's wife would have to go up there to what's going on, and she'd go up and stay, and he'd drive her up there, and he'd come back the same day, and then he'd go back.
So they didn't mind him taking
I was
his son
back
to
and
work?
forth from New York.
They didn't mind?
Just like catching the train, huh?
Taking his son to work, they didn't mind? He brought his...
No, well, I mean, I didn't go every time,
Okay.
but I mean, from time to time, he would probably ask them. I guess that's what he did. And first thing you know, I'm sitting in the car and going on up the road. But I'm just talking about how lucky they are.
Yeah, most of those people had old money, didn't they?
Oh yeah, them people had plenty of money.
Yeah, old money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's see about my kids. My kids, they travel too pretty good. They used to have friends in New York and places like that. And,
So they travel also.
yeah. Yeah, of course, my son, when he finished school, no, before he finished school, he went to, he and the boy that lived up here in Tangy, they decided they were going to go to York. And they saved their money, and they went to York, and they went to England, the pack bags, you know. And they went to England, and from there they got over to Europe some kind of way because they didn't have any money. And the cops wanted to lock them up for sleeping in the park in France. And they finally
They were just
yeah.
they didn't have nowhere to go. Oh,
They
okay.
just travel all around. And then they went to a place called Ibiza, and they went down there, and so I finally found out when he got older that there's a lot of these French and English girls down there. I guess they had money because they stayed there for almost a half a year.
Help them out.
I guess they're doing something. He was good. He's always been a good squirrel. He stayed down there. And finally, the white boy, he decided to go around the world, and that's when Stephen came. He had to call his mother up to get money to get back home. And that's when he finally came back home.
Before we put a tag on everything, can you tell them about the athletes we have that were in media?
Oh,
we had a string of them.
Me had terrific athletes. They had a Moots and Johnny Edwards. I guess you talked to him.
Someone else talks to him, but not.
No, they didn't.
No.
We had in that little town we had in that little 4 or 5 blocks. We had state champions. You know, we had guys that ran for it. We had one guy named Burnett. He was from Morton. He got a scholarship, and this is back in those days. And he ran for the University of Indiana at the Premier League, and they broke the college record there as freshmen. And then we had Johnny Edwards and Miles Kelly, who was a quarterback for North Carolina. And we had JoJo Moot.
Oh yeah, JoJo. Paul Somerville.
Paul Somerville's. What's his brother's name?
Paul Somerville?
He was state champion too.
Ooh, I can't remember that.
And
The only one I remember.
the one that worked for the borough.
I remember George, but George was
Yeah,
definitely.
and then George and Henry Somerville. We had state champions and scholarships galore. Then we had the Moots. And the best, probably the best athlete of them all was probably Cliff Moot. And he could run the quarter mile. He ran the 300 hurdles. He ran the high and low hurdles. And his freshman year when he went to Morgan, he broke all the records down there. And whatnot like that.
Well, we had Spike Pettyjohn. He was pretty good,
He
right?
was a pole vaulter, yeah. My brother, he ran for A&T. And the same one that was lieutenant colonel. And so many of them, I just can't, you know, for a little piece of town like, I mean, the neighborhood with so few people, it was amazing. That goes to show they were eating well, and they lived well, you know, wasn't a lot of drinking and smoking and all that sort of thing. And they're pretty religious, I guess, most of them.
Yeah, churches had nice food, man. They had good food.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They ate well and they enjoyed it.
Homemade
We used to-
rolls.
Yeah, we used to ice skate down there. A place called Broom's Dam.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You weren't allowed to go swimming in that place, but you could ice skate.
Maybe broke
I
through
mean,
that sheet.
He just
They
fell
tell
on
me.
through.
Yeah.
Fall.
You can work in restaurants.
But you didn't have that problem up there in Philly?
No, I don't ice skate.
Yeah.
No.
You can roll it.
You swim?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well, I
you don't
get in
have
the
that-
water.
You don't have that problem now. anyway.
No.
You don't know how to swim?
I don't know how to swim, but I do get in the water.
Well, you learn
And
how to swim in school.
Well,
It's classes.
You didn't, have to, you didn't have to take this class?
no, I took volleyball and football and
Oh.
golf and volleyball. I like volleyball.
Okay, all right.
I don't like water. I like to look cute in the water,
Yeah.
but I don't want to actually swim. I just want to get in
You're
the
swimming.
entire.
I can a little something. Dog paddle. That's what my dad taught me at first.
Yeah,
Well, you know he had because you were in the Navy. You had to swim, right?
Yeah, you
yeah.
had
Well, I
to
wasn't
swim.
about to swim though.
What?
No, I had an incident in the service even when I first went in there when I was in
How
boot
can you be
camp.
in the Navy and know how to swim?
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, I just figured one thing about the Navy. I figured if the ship goes down, everybody's going down.
Yeah.
Swimming
Yeah,
and not out.
you ain't gonna swim that far.
Did you ever like think about I am in the middle of the ocean? Like,
No,
what
I
am I
never,
doing?
never
here?
panicked. No. Mm-mm. No.
Like, why did I pick
my
the
feeling,
ocean?
My feeling was always like when I got on the big ship, I was the steward mate for the captain of the ship,
Okay.
and he was a full captain. And it was a big ship, USS Bronx, and like we would go across all the way across the ocean and all like that. But and the weather got real bad. I mean, I'm right there with him. If he gets excited, I will get excited. But
Yeah.
he never got excited. So I would
So,
say,
he
well,
was chilling.
if he's, yeah. I mean, this is-
Well, we have about a minute, so I guess you better phase out. Better fade to black here. You want to.
Go ahead, Carrie.
Well, thank you,
You're welcome.
Mr. Rich, for your time and inviting us into your house, Cheyney University. I hope to see you. I hope to be on TV when you see me, and also
Yeah.
my roommate. That's my
Well,
roommate.
it's been a pleasure. Dude.
It's been a
Enjoy.
pleasure.
And I'll be looking for you. There's no two ways about it.
Mhm.
That's right.
Yes.
Carol and me.
Yes. I
Thank
should
you,
have
Mr.
something to
Rich.
write your name down on. You can write your name down on something.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let me see the meek show. Inherit the earth, huh?
Why do you say that?
What did he say?
Big Show inherit the earth.
We should what?
Inherit the earth.
Okay.
He always says that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little piece of paper here. And, up in the Poconos there. I might want to go up there. Yeah.
It's nice. It's a tourist area, but people also live there. A lot of New Jersey, New York.
Do you have it on a campsite or what?
We're in like our own little community area.
Oh, really? Regular town?
And like about 15 miles from us is like the Navy.